Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are checking out another keyboard from EPOMAKER in collaboration with Feker. This is the Galaxy 80. I've got it here in this really nice purple and white two-tone colorway. It also comes in pink and blue, black and grey. And for about 165 Australian dollars, you're getting a really solid aluminium built, like full aluminium bottom case and top case with gasket mounted switches, south facing RGB LED, really nice marble switches as well. So it actually out of the box feels really good. And we're going to compare it against my other favorite keyboard. This is the Aula F75, which goes for about 100 Australian dollars. So it's a little bit cheaper. And also my other favorite keyboard, the MonsGeek M1, which is a bit of a tank of a keyboard, if I'm being honest. So today I'll give you my thoughts and opinions, what's good, what's bad, all the other stuff like sound testing and what comes in the box. And if you have any comments about this keyboard or questions, let me know down in the comments section. Get subscribed and let's begin. So now let's get this keyboard out of the box and see how it looks. Now, first impressions on the packaging on the outside, I really like the graphic with the solar system. I like the Galaxy 80 down there as well, referencing the fact that it's a TKL keyboard, no number pad, it's 88 keys. But yeah, packaging wise, branding looks really premium and looks quite nice. Nothing very, bland or boring about it. I really do like how this packaging looks. Once you pull off the sleeve, you've got a white plain box there with the actual keyboard inside. And the first thing you'll see is the user manual. So that will get you started, teach you how to do different functions for the RGB, switching modes, getting access to some of the macros. But if you want to use software, you can do that as well. Now, this keyboard, once you pick it up out of the box, it is quite heavy. It's about 1.6, 1.7 kilograms. It comes protected, of course, with a plastic sleeve and a plastic cover over the top to protect it from anything that might happen in shipping. But this keyboard, I actually did request it in the purple and white colorway. I think it looks really nice, definitely different and unique to everything else that's out there that I've seen. But if you want to get it in different colors, it comes in pink, blue, grey, and black. And honestly, the fact that it's a full aluminium build for this price point, it's just pretty crazy in my opinion. Now, when I got the keyboard, I flipped it over and had a look at the bottom. There's no feet there, but one thing that did stand out to me was the nameplate wasn't perfectly flush with the aluminium body. And I did reach out to the factory. They are going to send me another one, which is awesome, but that was just a small little nitpick straight away out of the bat, which is a little bit disappointing. Now, in terms of accessories, you get a keycap and switch puller, you get a USB-A to Type-C cable, and obviously you got a few spare switches there as well, just in case anything happens and one of your switches fails, you can take it out, remove it, replace it yourself. Or if you just want to use the switch puller to take out all of the keycaps and switches and put your own version in, whatever that might be, or take it from a keyboard you've already got, you can do that obviously because it's a hot swappable keyboard. But the keyboard and the accessories that you get are pretty standard, but just nice to have a few spare switches in there just in case. Then the USB receiver, because it is a triple mode wireless keyboard, so you can use USB-C in terms of a cabled connection, wireless 2.4 gigahertz with a USB dongle, or Bluetooth, so you can pair it with up to 3 Bluetooth devices. So the actual USB receiver is on the right side near that keycap, and once you pull that aluminium piece off, which is sort of held on with magnets, the actual receiver pops out and you can just easily pull that out and plug that into your computer. Now, when you turn on the keyboard, obviously you'll get the RGB LED effects coming through straight away. You can disable them or turn them off if you don't want it, but the RGB LEDs are south facing, which is quite nice. And I know a lot of you are wanting that on these high-end pre-builds. And if you want to go ahead and change the effects, you just need to use the function keys or arrow keys to adjust the speed, the brightness, the color. But if you want to use the software to get a little bit more specific with what keys are what color, you can definitely do that. But overall, the RGB LEDs look quite nice, definitely bright enough. And then you've also got this little LED strip on the right side near the arrow keys as well, which you can also change the color of, which is quite handy. In terms of like when the keyboard's running low on battery, you'll see that the function key starts to sort of do that slow breathing red color. But yeah, the RGB LED is definitely bright enough. And if you've got transparent keycaps, it will look really, really nice. Now, actually pulling off the keycaps and getting a little bit closer to the switches just so you can see the actual, the PCB and how the LEDs sort of shine through. Very easy to access. Just use that switch puller and keycap puller that comes in the box. And if you want to replace it with your own caps and switches, you can just go ahead and do that. Doesn't take too long at all. Now, talking about the switches for a second, the ones that come pre-installed on this keyboard are from Feker themselves. These are the marble white linear switch. There's no tactile or clicky switch option. These linear switches though feel really, really nice, super light to actuate, very, very thocky, quite marbly in the sound profile, which you guys will hear in a second, but definitely a really nice switch for the money. Now, in terms of the keycaps that come on this keyboard, it's nice to see that they're double shot PBT keycaps, meaning that the legend's not going to, scratch off anytime soon. But the legend, fairly plain Jane, fairly inconspicuous, but it looks quite nice. If you want to go ahead and change it to something else, you can do that. But it's nice that they've got the purple matching the purple of the aluminium of the keyboard, and I would assume that's the same with the pink, the blue, the black, and the grey. But yeah, really nice keycaps, nice switches, and just another reason to, I guess, be impressed at this keyboard coming in with so many boxes ticked at such a low price point. But now let's maybe move on, see how it sounds, and you guys can let me know what you think in the comments. Alrighty, so now conclusion time. You know what it sounds like, you know what comes in the box, you've got a few comparisons in terms of sound on other keyboards, but these are some of the things that I think you should consider before placing an order, because the last thing that you want to have is buyer's remorse, right? So the first thing that sort of bothered me the most on this keyboard was along this top edge, and I'll try and get it in focus here, but this location of the USB-C port, the Mac and Windows toggle function, and then also the on off switch, I don't think is in a really good location, considering you've got this whole edge here. You kind of have to put your hand here and sort of, fidget about to sort of try and find the actual switch. That's not super useful or intuitive, I should say. The second thing is the fact that you have to use function keys from going to the receiver mode to the Bluetooth mode. I find that also quite annoying. Like, why can't you just have a single switch to toggle between USB-C, Bluetooth, and 2.4 and put that on the top edge to make it really easy, just like the Aula F75 has, which is a really easy, convenient location. The second thing that sort of bothered me was whenever you picked up the keyboard, or I picked up the keyboard, and my hand on the right side, the sort of near the arrow keys here, would grip it. The actual little metallic cover, the aluminium cover that covers the USB storage spot, that piece there would grip on my skin and then sort of fly off sometimes, and I'd have to go and pick it up off the ground, which is not super useful. Again, looking at the Aula F75, I wish they could have put that USB port in the top side there, so that there was like no way you could make a mistake and lose that, because it's just held on by magnets, and not very strong magnets either. The last thing I would say is I wish it had a volume dial on the top right corner. A lot of keyboards have that now, especially at this price point. And I think the volume dial is something that's going to stay around, because it is super handy to have when you want to quickly mute, play, pause, increase the volume, next track, previous track. Like, having just a button there that you can sort of play around with, especially for multimedia, is really nice, considering none of these characters here on these function row switches or keycaps have the legend for media playback. So that's just another little nitpick. And then the last one really is the nameplate on the bottom, which is not really too important. But when that plate does come off, if it does come off, you can directly see straight into the keyboard where the battery is, which I think is a possible safety issue. The last thing you want is something on your keyboard. You put the keyboard down, and it punctures the battery. So the fact that you've only got a piece of plastic between that and the battery is just a little bit of an issue from my side. But overall, the look of the keyboard, the quality, the build, the sound, all those things are incredible. For gaming, it's been great. For typing, it's been great. Love it. I think it's great value for money as well, considering that it is a full aluminium top and bottom case with the switches and PBT, double shot PBT keycaps included. Triple mode wireless, like for 170 bucks, I don't think there's much on the market that really competes in terms of build quality, but it does lack a few features like the dial and maybe a better location for the Switch. But that's my personal opinion. You guys can make of it what you want. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to chuck it a like, get subscribed, leave a comment down in the comment section about what you think. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to go back and maybe check out some of the other keyboard videos. I'll leave links to those down below as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.